Hi, hello, and welcome to Knit in the City. I am Rebecca, and the city is an aspiration. Today, this week has been crazy, so I have just pulled an episode out of my you-know-what. Let's hope it all goes well. Sorry about the shadows in the back, but that's the only way you'll be able to see me and the yarns that I will be showing you. So in the last few episodes, I have been going through patterns that inspire me this autumn. And I have also done a deep dive into my whips and UFOs that are more autumnal. And there's a lot of them if you haven't seen that episode. And if you feel bad about your whips, just go check that out. Today I have decided to bring order into the chaos and decide what to do with the remaining months of the year. Knit-wise, of course. For the lingering projects that are already on my needles, I am already working on an episode where I try to finish them in a very small amount of time. So look out for that towards the end of October. So I will not be talking about them today. I have been a good girl. I have not cast anything new on since I made the Whip Parade episode, so yay me. So this episode is about the plans I have made, or I will be making, for October, November and December. And I'm trying to be realistic about this, but if you've been here for a while, you know that I'm more of a dreamer. And but I have been systematic about it. I have been going through my wardrobe to see which gaps I need to fill. I have also gone through my Ravelry favorites and my queue, and just to feel what sparks my interest there. And I also have been thinking about, and my girls have asked for a few items, and I would love to make those for them for Christmas presents. And lastly, I have been making some practical considerations, like what yarns do I have in my stash, and what patterns do I have in my Ravelry library, so I don't have to buy a lot of new stuff. I will not talk in depth about all these patterns like I usually do when I do a pattern roundup. Most of these I have talked about before, but I will just go through them, and I will also show you the yarns that I have planned to make them with. And in some cases I don't have the yarns yet, but I have some kind of idea what it is that I want. Me and the plant are like equally comfortable here in this very tiny corner. Okay, so I have put these projects into three main categories. The first one is things that I need. The second one is things that I want, like I'm itching to cast on. And the third category is things for the girls. And the first category, the things that I need, I have divided into subcategories because there are a lot of things there. You would think that I didn't need anything since I've been knitting for such a long time, but well, I guess you could take need with a grain of salt here. And in some of these categories, I will present an assortment of patterns that will fill the same gap. And I will eventually have to choose one of these. I'm not able to do that in this episode. I don't know if I'm going to make a second episode where I've made all the decisions, or if that is superfluous and I just pick it and you will know about it in my monthly roundups. And after I did all of this, I went to my Ravelry challenge page just to see how many projects it would be realistic for me to finish in 3 months. And I ended on 14, and this sounds like a lot, and it probably is. I probably won't be able to do it, but this is just, I tallied up all the years and divided them to get a mean. And if I only pick one thing from each category, I will be able to make it and still be able to do the 4 projects that the girls wanted me to make for them. So let's get started. The things I need, the first category here is accessories. And the first one is mittens. And mittens is something that I really need. I only have like 2 pairs of mittens, and that just won't do. Here I'm thinking simple designs. And I have picked out 3 patterns. And the first one is the Ule mittens. And these have been in my Ravelry queue for quite some time. I really like these ribbed mittens and the really nice line that goes here. So I think they look very nice. This is a Susanne Müller pattern. She has also made the next pattern, the Winter Essentials. And this pattern includes both mittens, a collar and a hat, which is great. The mittens are quite similar, but the line is less. It just goes more straight down. So I like them a little bit less, but at the same time you get more patterns, which is it's a better deal to be. And since I also need a collar, I'm definitely thinking about this. I am also thinking to make the arched gusset mittens from Pearl Soho. I have made these twice before. The pair that I have is a grey pair, and I used the heck out of it like last winter and the winter before that. I made a second pair that I actually wanted for myself, but they came out too small, so I had to give them to one of the girls. And that's why I'm thinking to make those. And the good thing about that is that it's a free pattern, so I could just make them. So one of these mittens are going to happen. Then I also need hats, and for the simple hats, I either make an Oslo hat, which I have made before quite a few times. I have the mohair edition Oslo hat, which I really like. Or the Musselburgh hat that I have been eyeing for a while. I don't have that pattern yet. So I totally forgot to tell you about the yarns I was planning to use for the mittens. So let's backtrack. For the Ule mittens or the Winter Essentials, those are both worsted weight. I am thinking to either use this Klippans tvåtrådiga, and this yarn is a sport weight, but I'm thinking if I hold this double, I mean this would also work for the arched gusset mittens, so all of those 3 mittens. If I hold this double, I would get, if not the right thickness, at least a thickness that would be quite sturdy and wind resistant. So I don't mind if this turns out a bit thicker than it's supposed to be. The option here is my svensk ull, which is a 3-ply Swedish wool yarn, and this has the right thing. This is a worsted weight, and I have this in a few different colors, like this light gray and this charcoal, and my hair is all over it, or this nice teal one that has been dyed on a gray base, and that's really nice. And actually, I mean, it is possible to make mittens, collar and hat. I had to turn off the light because these shadows were really bothering me, and probably you as well. Well, these are the same yarns, so it wouldn't bother me to make hat with one, collar with one, mittens with one, and maybe do like a stripe of one of the other colors to begin with, just so that it becomes a cohesive set. Okay, back to the hats. So Oslo hat or Musselburgh hat, I have the yarn. It's the Knitting for Olive Merino in this lovely lavender color. I think it's called Purple Unicorn. And then I've decided to hold that with the Knitting for Olive Merino in the, I think it's putty. And I think that would make quite a lovely pair. I am also thinking to make a colorwork hat, and that is the Alpine Bloom that I already have in my library. And I have some leftover yarns from the Nordic Bloom vest which is also a Caitlin Hunter pattern. And this is the charcoal gray, which would be the main color, the body of the hat. And I mean, I have a pile of yarn over here. And then I would use this pink for the flowers. And I think that would be quite lovely. I do really like this flower motif that she has on the hat. I have not decided which one to make yet. And the next category is collars, because I don't yet have a collar. And it's really practical to have underneath a winter coat that where you just pull it up very high and you can't really fit a shawl. So either I go with a really simple one from the Winter Essentials pattern by Susanne Müller. again. And then I would either use this yarn or one of those 3 yarns that I talked about before that are now on the floor because I don't have space. Or I make something patterned, and then that would be the Bringeduk Kaul by Birger Berge, which is a free pattern, and that is also really great. And I think that these, because that is a sport weight pattern with those beautiful star, with this beautiful star motif. And these Rauma finull yarns would be perfect for that. And I think I have enough to make both the hat and the collar. Let's see. The next category is vests, and I have, I'm either going to make a really simple vest or one with cables. So for the simple vests, the Detroit vest I have been talking about before, and that is a brioche pattern. It's quite a cropped vest with a deep V-neck, and this is also a free pattern. And I actually started knitting it, but I made some kind of mistake because I'm not a brioche master. I'm not very good at brioche at all. And I started knitting it in this Malabrigo worsted, in this lovely jewel blue. And you can see that it has been knit with, because this is just one strand, so it does felt a bit. But that's what I would use for that one. The other more clean, simple vest pattern is the Semper Slipover V-neck. And I really love how it has a really deep V. I haven't decided on yarn for this one. I think in the pattern she's using a fingering held with a lace mohair. But I mean, you could use a DK weight yarn as well. The problem that I have with vests is that I usually have a sweater's quantity of yarn, and then I don't want to cut it up and just use some of those for a vest. So I mean, it would be better to just buy yarn specifically for a vest. Or I mean, I also have like very small amounts of yarn that is just enough for a hat or a pair of mittens, and then it would not be enough. So that's why it's hard with the yarn for the vests. The cabled vests that I'm choosing between is the Ranne vest by Irene Lynn or the Haru vest by Knits by Summer. They're both really lovely. I do have the Ranne pattern, so it's probably going to be that one. I have the same problem here, but the Ranne comes in both a short and a long version. And for the long version, I could actually use this Adlibris Nordic yarn, which is 100% wool yarn, because this is a sweater's quantity, and with a vest that long, it would probably use up as much yarn as a regular sweater. So this is an option for that one. The next category is a polo and or a turtleneck. And the polo sweater is one that I've been eyeing for a long time. This is the Birkin polo, which is a tight-fitted ribbed polo sweater that I really like. I also have yarn for that. I don't have the pattern, but I do have yarn for it. And I have the Drops Flora in this beige, and it has like a pinkish undertone to it. I don't think you can see that here, but it's true. So I have the yarn, not the pattern. I haven't been able to find the kind of turtleneck sweater that I want. I want it to be tight-fitted, preferably ribbed. I also want it to be knit in a lightweight fabric, so like a sport or a fingering weight yarn. And I do have a yarn for this. I just don't have the pattern. And this is the Luna by Permin. And this is a bit of a tweedy yarn. It's really lovely. I mean, I have hairs and wood chips and stuff all over. But I mean, this is really, really nice. I only have 7 hanks of this, so I'm not sure I've got enough. But hopefully. I mean, I have seen the Biella sweater by the Knit Pearl Girl, and I really like the look of this. It's just, the fabric is too thick for what I want, because I want to be wearing it underneath a cardigan or a jacket. Okay, the next one is t-shirt, and here I only picked one because I know exactly which t-shirt I want to knit. And this is the Baby T by Wool and Beyond, and it has a really nice saddle shoulder construction. It's fitted, and the t-shirt that I want is something that I want to be wearing underneath my other clothes, and I want to tuck it into my jeans or trousers or skirt or whatever I'm wearing. And the yarn I have for this is also the Drops Flora, and I have the luxury of being able to pick between this lovely blue color and this pink. Undecided as of yet. The next category is cardigans. And here it is a little bit more troublesome because I have so much to choose from. And I want to knit a basic cardigan because that's something that I really need in my wardrobe. And this basic cardigan is either going to be more tight fitted. I think I kind of need one of each of these categories. This is like a sub category thing. So like a fitted cardigan, a bit thicker, more loose fitting cardigan, or a long cardigan. But they're all basic cardigans, no frills and stuff. So for the thinner version, I would like to knit either the April cardigan by Petite Knit or the Cardi Jumper by Vert Knit. And the thing with these is, with the April cardigan, I really like the fit because this is a bit more fitted. With the Cardi Jumper, I just really like this. The shape of the V is really beautiful. And I haven't picked one yet, but I do have yarn. I have this Klippans tvåtrådiga. I mean, I love this color. Isn't it beautiful? This blue is just so perfect. So this is for the cheaper version. For the bouchier version, I do have BC Garn by Shetland. And this is really nice because it has these little flecks of color and also hairs, of course. And this is a very thin yarn. This is more like a lace weight than a fingering. But I'm going to hold it with this Drops Kidsilk. And this color is actually in here, as you can see. So then I'm going to reach a sport weight, hopefully, I think. And I also have a third option, which is even more luxurious. Let's see if I can find it. Yes, I've already knit something with this, so it doesn't look very luxurious. But this is the Debbie Bliss. This is the Debbie Bliss Cashmerino DK. So this is mostly merino, but there is a bit of cashmere in here as well, in this navy blue. So all of these three are good options. For the more thicker cardigan, I have a few options here as well that I haven't decided between. And this is the Eva cardigan by Petite Knit, the Step by Step cardigan by Florence Miller, or the cardigan number 10 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I am leaning towards the cardigan number 10 because I do love the way she writes her patterns. I also really like this cardigan. It has beautiful details. It has these really wide sleeves that I'm really into. And the problem is that I already own the Step by Step cardigan, so it would make more sense to knit that. The yarns for these ones, I have a few options as well. It is the Sandnes per Gynt in this purple color. This is a very intense purple, but I am thinking for a very simple cardigan, like all of these three are, it's fine to go a bit more crazy on the color. The other option is the Drops Lima in this taupe colorway, which is a lot more basic, but would also work really well. Or I have a Malabrigo worsted, also purple for some reason. And this has a few more colors in it if you want a bit more fun. For the long cardigan, I only have one pattern, and that is the Ralph cardigan by Morka Knit. And I really like the saddle shoulder construction. It looks really clean. I like the length of this. And for this cardigan, I think maybe I have enough of this yarn to knit a long cardigan in. Otherwise, I could probably buy some more And these shouldn't be very different between the different dye lots, hopefully. I have been talking about knitting a skirt for a long time. I mean, I have knit some skirts, but none of them have come out very flattering on me. I mean, they look really good on the shelf, but they don't fit my body very well. So I'm thinking I need to knit myself an A-line skirt. I almost said cardigan now because I've been talking so much about cardigans. But an A-line skirt. And I have found one that looks to be a perfect fit. And this is the Harry skirt by Knit. This is a skirt that's going to go with everything. And therefore I want to knit it in a dark neutral color, like a charcoal gray or a navy blue. I really like the tweed effect in the sample pattern. So I don't have a yarn for this, and I haven't found a yarn that I feel like this is the one that I want, but I want it to be a tweed yarn in one of those two colors. So I'm on the lookout for that. The next category is pattern that I want to. These are the things that I have really been itching to cast on. Like when I first saw them, I'm like, oh, I have to do this. And the first one is the Artisan Cardigan by Sandnes Design. And I actually have the pattern booklet where this one is included. I love the cables, the texture, that it's different on both front panels. And it doesn't look very complicated. It's probably quite easy, but still interesting. And for this one, I'm thinking this light pink would be nice. And this is the Drops Nepal. And I have enough to make the cardigan in this yarn. The next one is the Haru cardigan by Knits by Summer. And I love all of the Haru versions. There's a sweater, a cardigan, a vest. And these small cables are just so yummy. And I also love the wide sleeves. Everything about this is just lovely. And for this one, this combination that I talked about before would also work really well, I think. So that is an option for that. And I'm realizing when I'm talking about these, I realize I have to pick one of these patterns, and that's going to be really hard. So let's see what happens. Okay, and then I found the Berkeley set by Elida Virak. And this is a free pattern from Svarta Fåret. And it contains a pair of tights and a mock turtleneck sweater. And I just realized that this would actually be perfect for my ribbed turtleneck sweater that I couldn't find a pattern for. Great job. Great job. Had a blonde moment there. But I think I would have to make the neck a bit higher because I would like to be able to fold it. But that's not a problem. I mean, I love these tights with the bell-shaped legs, and yeah, it's just, this is a dream. I don't have enough yarn to make the whole set in the same yarn, but I am thinking to make the trousers in this Regia tweed 4-ply. Like, it has lovely tweedy flex. This is either a charcoal or like a deep dark brown. I'm not really sure. Doesn't matter because I think these colors both work on me, and it's also going to be on the lower half of my body, so no worries. And then I have a Drops Nord in this Bordeaux color. And I think that these would be really nice together because there are some like Bordeaux flecks in here. So I'm feeling good about this. The next one is one that I have been just drooling over ever since I saw it. And this is the Key Sweater by Petite Knit. And everything about this is just so yummy. The simple colorwork pattern, the colors she chose, which I'm not going to, but still. The wide sleeves, the little turtleneck. It's just pure goodness. And even though I don't need a sweater like this, this is probably going to be the one. I don't have any yarn for this yet. I haven't even decided what colors to pick, but I'm actually, wouldn't it be great to just, for the main color, to have some kind of lavender that's been dyed on a grey base, and then some kind of white. Just keep the white and then this greyish lavender. That would be lovely, I think. Oh yeah, feeling happy just thinking about it. The next one is the Midsummer Night Socks by Melody Hoffman, and these are really lovely with a little colorwork moth on the cuff. And I actually have half of the yarn for this because they are knit in Istex Einband, and I have held with a Kidsilk mohair, and I did buy a skein of a really dark navy Einband, and I also have, I don't have it here, but I can pop it on the screen. And I also have a drops Kidsilk in a navy blue. So I just need to get a skein of Einband in white and some white silk mohair, and then we're good to go. That's not gonna break the bank. The last pattern in this category is the Mamba dress by Ulle Knitwear. I really want a winter dress, and this is just perfect with the cables, the turtleneck, how long it is. I like that it's fitted. I definitely don't have yarn for a huge project like this, and this is probably not gonna happen this year, but I mean, it is really lovely. The next category is things for the girls, and these are things that they have asked me to knit for them. So of course I have to do that. And I think that these are going to be Christmas presents, because I usually did something for them for Christmas and many other times of the year, but they're gonna expect me to knit them something for Christmas. So the first one is the jean cardigan for my older daughter. I'm starting with my oldest daughter. She wants the jean cardigan by Johanna Gerisch. I have the pattern. I also have the yarn, so I have no excuses. And this is the drops Flora and the drops Kidsilk. They're both in the color lemonade, but I think that the Flora is more buttery and this is more lemony, which kind of annoys me, but she was fine with it. So I'm going to make her the jean cardigan in this lovely yellow combination. And then she also saw the Lilu blouse by Maria Shea Morgenstad, which is a really lovely mohair blouse where you hold 2 strands of mohair together. And I have bought the yarn for this. This is the drops Kidsilk in this pink color. And that's what I'm going to use for this blouse. For her sister, she saw the Bapuri cardigan by Berry Knitting, yes, and instantly fell in love with it. For the yarn, I haven't decided on a yarn yet because this little lady is very particular about what she wears. So I'm thinking that she is going to have to pick the yarn out for herself. And she looks really great in green. But she also really likes beige, which also is a good fit. So we will see what she chooses. Maybe she wants the white. The off-white is also a good color for her. So I will get back to you on that. And the last pattern of the day is the Field Mittens by Camilla Ward, because this little one, her hands are always cold. So, I mean, these she actually didn't ask for, but I think they are gorgeous and I think that she would like them. So this is going to be a surprise. And for these ones, I have some leftover unspun yarn. I have this Nutiden that I made the Oxa by Caitlin Hunter with. And I mean, this is quite a lot. This is easily going to be a pair of, because these are mitts rather than mittens. They don't have a full hand, so to speak. And yeah, and this is green, so it's great. But if she wants something more neutral, well, I don't know, because I can't ask her because it's going to be a surprise. But I mean, maybe I can knit both, being overly ambitious. I also have the Plötulopi in this really dark, it's the same thing here. I don't know if this is gray or brown, but it has little flecks of blue, red, yellow, green. But I don't know if this is too dark for the pattern to come out properly. Maybe I'll have to swatch this to see what the pattern is going to look like. So that was all of the patterns, and I still have some work to do to pick out which projects I am actually going to knit. But I hope you enjoyed this little run through of parts of my stash, and I hope it wasn't too messy. I hope you have a great day with lots of knitting. Bye bye!